Hello, we are delighted to welcome you to our MOOC, Oral Communication for EFL Learners. I'm Zhang Wenxia from Department of Foreign Languages and Literatures of Tsinghua University. Well, as we know, the most fundamental function of language is to communicate. So, in this course, I will lead you to learn how to practice the most basic communication skills in English. In the first unit, I will guide you in learning how to greet people in English. We just listened to Glenn's introduction to this unit. Now, before we start the text, let's think about the following question. How do people in different cultures greet each other?
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Dr. Thomas Piachaud from Great Britain. I received my PhD from the University of Cambridge. In today's lecture, I would like you to read the text first. Next, you can read after me, sentence by sentence. You may want to repeat the text again and again to make sure that you understand fully and can paraphrase anything in English. Let's begin. Learning a foreign language is usually tough. But knowing the basic greetings is a polite and simple thing to do. It shows that you have an interest in the culture. Each country has its own customs and ways of saying hello. For example, British people like me greet each other by talking about the weather. While in China, they will say, "Ni chi le ma?" The most common form of greetings in many countries when you're introduced to a new friend is a handshake. But shaking hands is rare in Japan. The Japanese greet each other with a short bow. And not returning someone's bow is considered very rude. The degree of the bow is directly related to the difference in status between the two individuals. Greetings between friends are just a nod of the head, while a low-ranking worker should greet a superior with a long and deep bow. Also, a great first impression can be important, and once made, it's very difficult to change. To make a good impression, you need to act as if you're meeting a good friend. This is a pretty good starting point for developing a good relationship. In daily life, we also need to be careful about first meetings. For example, someone may phone you to ask for your personal information. You need to be cautious because they may ask you for this in order to steal your email address, your money, your credit, or your identity. So it's important to learn the proper way to greet people and make a good first impression. It is equally important to be careful in giving strangers your personal information. Now, I want you to read after me, sentence by sentence. You may want to read aloud to yourself at home more than twice. Learning a foreign language is usually tough, but knowing the basic greetings is a polite and simple thing to do. It shows that you have an interest in the culture. Each country has its own customs and ways of saying hello. For example, British people like me greet each other by talking about the weather. While in China, they will say, "Ni chi le ma?" The most common form of greetings in many countries when you're introduced to a new friend is a handshake. But shaking hands is rare in Japan. The Japanese greet each other with a short bow. And not returning someone's bow is considered very rude. The degree of the bow is directly related to the difference in status between the two individuals. Greetings between friends are just a nod of the head, while a low-ranking worker should greet a superior with a long and deep bow. Also, a great first impression can be important, and once made, it's very difficult to change. To make a good impression, you need to act as if you're meeting a good friend. This is a pretty good starting point for developing a good relationship. In daily life, we also need to be careful about first meetings. For example, someone may phone you to ask for your personal information. You need to be cautious because they may ask you for this in order to steal your email address, your money, your credit, or your identity. So it's important to learn the proper way to greet people and make a good first impression. It is equally important to be careful in giving strangers your personal information. Now I would like to explain a few words and expressions. After that, my Chinese colleague will explain in more detail in Chinese. Personal information. What is personal information? We understand what information is, but personal information is things like your date of birth, or your name, or your address. You need to be careful in giving personal information to people. First impression. When you first meet someone for the first time, you form what is called a first impression, your first initial feelings about this person. These are very key things to master. To be good at making a good first impression will give you a good chance in life at making lots of friends and getting good jobs.